All right, today we're gonna find out what this thing's made of when we come back. Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna move on and talk about the 20 volt Hypermax Bauer cordless 6.5 inch circular saw. Now in the last video we reviewed the Bauer 20 volt right angle drill and I was actually pretty impressed with it, so I did give it a pretty good review. And if this is your first time here, I'd appreciate it if you consider subscribing below. Man, I do videos like this, tool reviews, tips, tricks, projects, and I try to post on a regular basis at least once a week. So if you like what you see, man, I appreciate it if you click the subscribe button. And also, if you already subscribed or are subscribing, man, if you click that bell down there, they'll notify you when I upload a video. YouTube won't show you when I upload a video a lot of times. So if you don't have that bell rung, you may miss out. And I appreciate every one of you guys watching, man, and commenting. I enjoy doing this. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on this saw here. Now, on the Harbor Freight website, this has been reviewed 184 times, and out of those 184, 7 people gave it 1 star, but it has an average of 4.5 stars. The most common complaint that I've seen with this is that it overheats, it stops a lot, and that it lacks power. But, you know, these guys got to realize this saw is $49.99, bare tool, so you're not paying very much for this. So I won't judge these tools as harshly as I would say a DeWalt, a Milwaukee, a Makita, because these are actually budget tools. These are the type of tools that I will review and judge based on the use that they're made for. I'm hoping that we can get, you know, more of use out of it than just your average everyday person cutting a couple 2x4s or just drilling a couple holes. So I am going to test these a little harder than probably what they're meant for, but I'm doing that intentionally to see how good these things really are. And if you was out there ready to start a job or was on a budget and just needed some good, decent tools to make it, that's what I want to find out, man. I want to find out, I want to save you some money and try to point you into a good direction. If these tools are worth, if this is worth $49.99 versus paying $100+ for the DeWalt similar circular saw, then I'm going to tell you, man, buy this if you don't have the money. Unless it's better than the DeWalt, then I'll tell you just to buy this regardless. But another thing, man, if you're new here, I try to pride myself on being loyal to no tool brand. I want to give you truthful, honest reviews. And, you know, when I don't pick a particular person's favorite tool brand, they tend to take offense to it. But it's not, I'm not trying to offend you or anybody, man. I'm just trying to give everybody a fair and honest review. And if you have a different experience or if you feel differently about a tool, then I respect you, man. So just respect me back and just agree to disagree. You know what I mean? So anyway, but 94% of people say they would recommend this tool. Now, based off of the right angle drill that I just reviewed, I'm kind of liking the Bauer line thus far because I would actually use this drill. I would buy it to use it for the house or to use it maybe at work, you know, if I needed to save some money or if I was just starting out or if I didn't have to use it a tremendous amount, because I pushed this thing pretty hard and it did smoke and it did shut down, but I would expect nothing less, man, because it's hot in here. Like I said yesterday, it's 90 degrees. It's probably 90 something now in here. I'm burning up, man. But anyway, they claim that it has high cutting power performance, that you can cut up to 2 1/8 inches of wood, and at a 45-degree bevel, it can cut 1 3/8 inches. It has a speed of 4,000 RPMs, and like with the other Bauer tools, it has the black overmolding and on the handle, so it's going to keep your hand from slipping. Now the bevel lever seems to move well. The saw moves in and out pretty good. The saw depth lever pulls up and down. It is a little hard, but that could be because it's new. But I don't want it to move really easy because I don't want it to change positions when I don't want it to. So I do want some kind of stiffness in that. They went through great lengths to make this thing look good. And that's what I think their purpose was in these tools. You know, I don't think they were probably focusing on as much on performance as they was on cosmetics to make people want to buy this. Because as I said in the introduction video where I was introducing the Bauer tool line, that I believe that this tool line is just more meant for people who don't use their tools as often but want to have nice looking, good looking tools, because these things do look good. Now, am I wrong? Maybe I am, because this right here, it was pretty good, but we're gonna get into the meat of these tools, and once we test this saw and this grinder, that's gonna give me a better indication probably about how the rest of these tools are gonna turn out. But as I said in the other video, I am gonna go through and purchase every one of these approximately 15 cordless tools that Harbor Freight has in their Bauer line, and we're going to test them all out. Once I test them out, I may purchase the Hercules tools afterwards and put them up against this and see which one's better, because as I said in my other videos, I believe that the Hercules tool line is overpriced. I believe that the Hercules tool line, if they wanted people to get into that platform, they need to sell it at these prices for this to get people to come over. Because me personally, and if you have, I'm not dogging you in the least little bit, man. If you like Hercules, if you bleed blue and black, then man, I respect you for that. But me personally, I'm not gonna abandon an established tool brand such as Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, Rigid, and go with a newer cordless tool brand such as Hercules that doesn't have that many tools, unless I have a real good reason to do so. One would have to be that the performance is just overwhelmingly better than the Milwaukee, the DeWalt, the Makitas, the Rigids. And two is that the price is so attractive that it would cause me to abandon those tools to switch over. But they don't see it that way. They're charging pretty much the same price as you could buy Milwaukee's and DeWalt's. And the performance is not there to charge that amount. And that's just my opinion, man. And if you have a different opinion, then as I said, I respect it, man. But anyway, what we're gonna do today is I have planned on fixing this area up right here that I shoot in, because I just pretty much just slapped this together. So what I was planning on doing was I'm just gonna sheet this area right here with some plywood, and I'll probably paint it. I haven't decided the color yet, but to kind of liven it up over here. And then at some point also I'm gonna build some shelves and some lighting and stuff to put all these tools and stuff that I'm gonna be reviewing up over here in the back, and just some sort of decoration. So I figured I might as well kill two birds with one stone, so I went and bought some plywood, and we'll use that to cut this. When I rip the sheets of plywood, we're gonna see if this thing can hopefully handle cutting 7/16 OSB plywood. And by the time it's all said and done, we should go through the battery, but that's not all I'm gonna cut, obviously. I will cut some 2x4s. So let me show you how to put the saw blade on. I know all you guys probably know how, but I'm gonna go over it real quick just in case somebody doesn't know how, man. It's only gonna take a second. But this here has the Allen key in the handle. You pull it out of the handle, and the big thing you need to know here is that this is a reverse thread bolt. So instead of your normal righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's opposite. Right is loosening, left is tightening. And that's done intentional because when the blade is turning, they don't want the bolt to wiggle itself loose, to turn itself loose. So it's tightening in the direction that the blade's turning to keep the bolt tight while you're using it, because it would be pretty dangerous if that bolt were to come loose. Okay, to install this, you're gonna need a 6.5-inch blade. I just bought the Bauer blades that was right there at Harbor Freight, close to the saw when I bought the saw. You're gonna pull the guard up, you're gonna slide the saw in, and it will just slide right over top of this, and it will fit perfectly in the center. Then we'll take this washer and put back over top. Then we'll take our bolt, and left is tight, so we'll tighten it. If you lose your Allen key that comes with the saw, the size is a 5mm Allen socket, which is what I'm going to use to tighten it. Now there's a button in the back. You're going to want to press the hold to keep the blade from turning while you're tightening. Now I snugged it down good. I'm going to put my Allen key back in the handle. Before I go to cut anything, I'm going to install this battery, and I'm going to just cycle it a few times just to make sure the blade's secure, and we can look and see that the battery is full. One thing I already see that I don't like is when this battery slides in the back right here, I can no longer see how much juice is left in this battery because it's blocked from the inside. So I have it installed. I'll cycle it a few times. But even with just cycling it right there, I do smell some of the stank, man, some of the China stank. So let me go ahead and set up some plywood. We're probably going to go outside for this, and I'm not going to talk during it. So I'm just going to show you some video, and I'll speed it up of me. I'm going to rip a sheet of 8 foot 7/16 OSB. I'm going to rip it down to fit over here. And once I do that, we'll see how much juice is left in the battery, and we'll see if it stops. We'll see if it struggles at all. Once I rip that one sheet, that should be it on the OSB that I have to cut. The rest of the sheets will be full that I need to put up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a few 2x4s, but we'll bring that back in here when I do that. So let's get outside and cut this. As you can see, I got everything pulled down behind me, and I measured out the size of the sheet that I need to cut. And I just want to say something real quick about ripping this OSB or cutting wood in general. I see this all too common. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, and I'm just throwing this out there for the guys that might not know. And if you do know, it ain't going to take but a second, man. When you're cutting wood, or especially when you're ripping this OSB, you need to adjust your blade height, man. You need to just barely be going through that wood, or any wood for that matter. You do not need to have your blade at full depth. If you do, you lose control. It's going to bind up more. You have your cut's going to look like garbage. So do yourself a favor, man. Adjust your blade height, and as you can see right here, man, you just set it up to the OSB, pull your lever up, adjust to where your blade is barely going through the wood, and your cut will be a lot better. You'll have a lot more control over your saw, and it'll be just an all-around better experience for you in cutting wood, man. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick because I see that mistake a lot, and a lot of guys, either they just never learned, or they don't know, or they just don't care. I don't know what it is, but I always have to say, like, man, adjust your blade height, and it will make your life a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead out here, and we're going to see what this thing can do. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick as a little tip, man. I got to think about it. So let's get on out here. I think that's enough, man. I could try to rip a 2x4 and it may struggle with it, but man, the way it's going, I don't think it would. And if it did struggle with it, I don't think it would struggle very much, man. This is a pretty good saw. $49.99 bare tool, $39.99 for the battery, so $100. It's still got 3 bars. I mean, you've seen I cut 35, I believe it was like 35 pieces of that plywood. I ripped 2 pieces of plywood. I cut it at the 45. Now you've seen it didn't go through at the 45. It did go through at 40. It almost made it at 45. That is one drawback to this, man. I would prefer this thing to be able to cut a 2x4 at a 45-degree angle, but you know, that's the only drawback to this. Otherwise, this is a pretty good saw. It could be used for a lot of different things. So, man, I gotta say, so far, this Bauer it's doing good, man. It's doing a lot better than I expected when I first started recording this. As you know, as I said, I didn't think these tools would be worth anything. I just thought they were just cosmetic tools to make it look like you actually had some good tools, but man, they're good tools so far. This is a good tool. I can't wait to try out the rest of these tools. I can't wait to try this grinder out. I particularly can't wait to try that 3/8 impact and that chainsaw, man, because I'm going to have some fun with it. And I'm shocked that this 3 amp hour battery is still on 3 bars, man. I cut a lot with it. You see, I've made at least 50 cuts, probably around 50. I did 35 of plywood, 2 or 3 of the 45, and then rip the plywood twice, then cut like 12 or 13 of the 2x4, and it's still on 3 bars. So I don't know, man. I don't know how many more cuts this can make, but it's going to be a lot, man. I can't believe it. 3 amp hour battery. I'm shocked, man. I'm eating my own words right now. So, I'm man enough to admit when I was wrong, man. And I was wrong, especially about this tool and that right angle drill. They're both really good. Now, whether everything else will be good, that'll remain to be seen. But so far, so good. Good job, Harbor Freight. Good job, Bauer, whoever makes these, whichever Chinese company you guys buy them from. And what's funny is the Hercules, man, I actually got something funny for you guys about Hercules, about the origins of Hercules at another time. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to end it there, man. And if you haven't subscribed, I appreciate it if you go down and hit that subscribe button and that bell. It'll notify you when I upload a video. And then I appreciate it if you watch it and like, comment, share. I appreciate everything, man. Because I'm going to be doing more videos like this. We still got 13 more Bauer tools to do. And, the sky's the limit from there, man. I'm going to do every tool I possibly can and for as long as I possibly can. I got other projects and stuff I want to do too, do videos of. And I actually have a big project, if I could ever save the money up to do it, man. I'd like to do something to this toolbox right here, the 72-inch Harbor Freight toolbox. It would be a pretty fun project. It'd be a pretty cool project. There's no other videos like it on YouTube, so I would be the first if I could pull it off, man. But I'm confident in my abilities that I could pull it off, but is getting the money up to do it is the first issue, plus trying to get the money up to buy all these tools, try to do a video a week, this and that and that and this. And, it's a slow process, but it is a process. So I appreciate it, man, if you guys share these videos, tell your friends, get it, whatever, just likes, comments, anything, man. I appreciate all you guys, man. And until next time, stay real.